place where visionary leaders build a life and business legacy on purpose through mindset, branding, marketing, sales, systems, and team so they can make an amazing impact and income and positively affect their communities worldwide. Ensure that you are sharing this show, you're subscribing, and you also are leaving us a review so we can create more amazing content around those areas to help you level up to the next level and also bring amazing guest experts that can share their knowledge and expertise with you so that you can create amazing legacy. All right, welcome back to the show. Welcome back, purpose driven entrepreneurs and organizations. We're back with another amazing guest that is going to share with us today how to get your book to bestseller status on Amazon. A lot of us here are building legacy businesses, and I highly believe that a book is a legacy product. And I can't wait to have Dina share with us a lot of her knowledge and expertise around this topic. But most importantly, introduce her to you as we have initially connected a couple of weeks back. And Dina is an amazing leader, and she has such a servant heart, and she openly serves other people. So that's kind of the first impact that she left on me. So I'm sure that she'll do the same with you today. So Dina, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Elona. I am so thrilled to be here with you.
I'm so excited to have you back, Dina. And again, I can't wait to dive right into the topic today. But before we do that, can we give the audience a little bit of an insight around what led you to the work that you're doing today?
Well, I've been a coach for 20 years. I did my first coaching training NLP in 2002. And yes, it's been a long career of coaching about relationship with self. Very much, it's always been my passion, and then business coaching, and of course that is also about soul alignment and how to align ourselves to have the best business. And then parallel to this backstory is a number of years ago I read the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and it made a huge impact on me. And I thought, and I actually made a wish to the universe, and I said, oh, I want to write stories like this. And of course, I never did. But then, beginning of last year, no, the year before that, gosh, I get so mixed up with all the years. But about 2 years ago, I had this amazing opportunity. I received this opportunity to start my own publishing company. And that was just, everything just came together. I always felt there was something more I wanted to offer my clients, to have a fantastic business and the best strategies to really elevate themselves and their brand and their visibility. And this was just that missing link. So I just jumped in, and the rest is history.
Yeah, you connected that dot. It was part of your journey. That's why you kind of felt like, okay, this is exactly what I'm supposed to do in my in this at this point in my journey as well. So I find that if we are very mindful and aware and conscious, I love that you also led with that, self discovery and self awareness, because I feel that's where everything starts. If you are
Absolutely.
mindful, the universe or whatever we want to call it is always throwing things along our journey to kind of so we can grab those dots and piece them together, puzzle piece them together, and it usually leads us to the way to where is it that we want to focus on, and also what is it that we feel we can help other people with. It helps with the positioning. So let's dive into that. I love that, Dina. So why is I know the benefits, but I think it's important also share from your experience. What are some of the benefits that becoming a published author gives you in your brand, visibility, and in your day-to-day, entrepreneur journey?
Well, there are so many benefits. And that is the same for solo books, whether you write your solo book or whether you're part of a multi-author book. Actually, being part of a multi-author book and write a chapter is, for me, the fastest strategy to actually elevate your brand, because the whole reason behind it is to elevate your brand, your visibility, and of course your authority. Because the moment you can share your expertise and demonstrate it on paper, then you are a leader. Because there's only about 2% now of people who actually do that. Maybe 1% of people who arrive at the international best-selling author status. And so, besides the fact that you get that credibility, your credibility and your authority just skyrockets.
Instant.
Plus,
Mm.
instantly. Plus, you leave a legacy. You leave a legacy in a form, in a tangible form. You know, Elona, we write a lot of things. You know, I always loved what Jeff Walker said of launch. He said, the moment you move into online business, you actually become a publisher, because we put ourselves out there all the time, and we can write the most amazing blogs and articles and posts, but it's fleeting. You know, you just press enter and you publish, put your post on there or your blog on there, and there's the next one, the next most beautiful post. But by having your expertise and your story in a book, it's forever. It's forever. And the other
Mm.
point is, having that status opens doors. Any podcast host loves to announce that they are interviewing a best-selling author or international best-selling author. It's a draw card. So it's I see, especially in a multi-author book, I see it as a luxury business card, because
Mm.
it introduces you to your clients. You're very authentic. People like you, they love you, they identify with your story, and they're very open to actually engage with you. Do you agree with that?
Oh gosh, so much. And I would share my first experience. I highly agree with you. And that's actually going to be my next question for you, Dina. What is the benefits? Because some people, if you're new in this journey of writing a book or even leveraging all your content, I highly agree. We have content all over the place because we understand that, that's how we also build our brand through all these channels and platforms. So rather than kind of have content scattered all over the place, packaging and structuring in a book not only will give you that instant authority and thought leadership, if that is one of your goals, and I would say that it
Mm.
should be, if you believe in the work you do, and if you believe you have a different spin to the way you bring things to the table, and your experience is unique and all of that, then why not do that with a book, because it's something that can be handed over to so many more people. Just give me 1 minute. I think my camera just went off, but hopefully you could still hear me. There I am.
There you are. There you are.
There I am. Perfect. Yeah, it's that legacy product for sure. So I think people are understanding that. But those statistics were very surprising to me, that only 2% are best-selling authors. I would say that it would be more
Two,
people that are understanding the value of book publishing and writing today.
I
Mhm.
would actually say 2% are published authors,
Oh,
not
published.
best-selling.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Best-selling
Yeah,
is much less.
there's a big gap. There's a big gap for sure. But that's kind of what I wanted to add. My experience with when I in my speaking my books or writing my books journey. Um, I started as a with a co-author book because I didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to
Mm.
write my first chapter.
It's a
Or
great way to start.
how to package everything. Yeah, so it really positions my brand well. I didn't know, well, where, because didn't have a lot of clarity around what I really stood for. I think that's
Mm.
another big thing, how to really use the book to leverage your brand and vice versa. So it was so easy for me to do a co-author book, and that's how I started in the journey. And then I had my first chapter where I talked about my life story, giving some tips around my experience. But that became the chapter that then became part of my first book that I
Mm.
published, right? Connecting the dots backwards. And that I took that and I started, making that better for my other book, Purpose Driven, Entrepreneurship. So everything is like stepping stones into that
Stepping
next
stones.
thing in your path. But that's kind of my journey. So I think doing a multi author book might be a great start for someone that doesn't know where to start. And you already have people that understand the process and they can help and guide you in that. So, Dina, based on your experience, I know you help people do publish solo books and also multi-author books. What is the difference between both, and what are some things for people to consider if they want to make a decision around which one is best for them?
Sure. Okay. So yes, I do multi-author books. In fact, I'm busy to fill, rolling co-authors for 2 books at the moment. And for both, what you need is you don't have to be a writer. That's a very big misconception that people think they have to already be a writer. If you think about it, if you write anything on social media, you're already a writer. And that's why we have editors. And that's why we have coaches like myself, so that when my clients enroll into my multi author books, then I guide them. I give them a guide and I read all of their stories. I give them feedback. So you're always in good hands if you work with a publisher like myself. But if you write your solo book, then you need an editor. So if you I think the biggest criteria is that you need to be an expert in what you're doing. You at least have to be able to tell about that. You have to write about that. You have to demonstrate it. So, and that's another misconception that people think, especially that multi author books are for beginners. I've had beginner people in my multi author books, but they are maybe beginner in pivoting their business, but they have been in business for a while. So you have to be confident in what it is that you do. So I would definitely say you have to be an expert in what you do. And then it's to write your chapter. If you write a multi author book, write your chapter. The rest is taken care of for you. And if you write your solo book, um, that's, of course, a much bigger project. Because a multi author book chapter is about 3,000 words, it's about 12 pages. But a solo book is anything from a short read is up to 20,000 words. And then, an average solo book is about 100 pages, over 100, between 100 and 200 pages. So that's a much bigger project. And of course, it's a whole project in terms of outlining the book, organizing your information into chapters, etc., etc. Did I answer your question, Elona? I think I got a little bit mixed up with what you asked me.
Oh no, I just wanted to know because I understand the value of multi-author book. You get to connect with other authors. So that I just want to know the difference between what are the benefits of a multi-author book and what are the benefits of a solo book, so people can have both of those so they can make a good decision based on where they are on their journey. And I highly agree with what you are saying. You don't For me, that was the phase and stage of my journey, but we all come in this journey in different ways because of our experience. So I love that you kind of, put an accent around that you don't have to be a beginner. For me, that just seemed to be more comfortable. And that's kind of, I was aligned with the community that I felt was really in line with my values and with what I was trying to accomplish. And that I made that decision then. And that's how that worked. But yeah, you can come at this from many different angles. And this is definitely something that
Absolutely.
I'm always considering moving forward. But I don't want to give away my insight around it based on what I've learned. But I wanted to ask you, because obviously you do this for a living, so you are the expert in this area. Yeah, the difference between, so people can make a good decision between being part of a multi-author co-authored book versus a solo book, if you can maybe summarize it.
Yeah. So basically, if it sounds like a daunting project to write your solo book, many people start a solo book and then they never finish it. So it's a good practice to start with a multi-author book, because you learn how to work, how the process works. You get used to writing. You get used to the whole process of getting feedback and editing your story, changing your story, working with an editor. All of that is part of a multi-author book. So the whole process is just minimized, if I can put it that way. Plus, it's guaranteed, as if you're part of a multi-author book, that you get the status of international best-selling author. That
Uh,
is a huge thing to have behind your name, especially whether you, after that, participate in another multi-author book, or you write your solo book. You already have an author page on Amazon, and you have the status of an international multi-author book, multi-international best-selling author, and
right.
that you keep. That is for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one major benefit. And you, because you're going to explain to us how to get to bestseller status, but you're saying being part of a multi-author book is helps you. It's easier to get to bestseller status versus a solo book. So that is
Yeah.
one major benefit to definitely consider.
Hugely.
Not to mention the marketing side of things also.
Mm.
You're part of another community. The more people know you from there, you're not only accessing your own audience, depending on what size it is, depending on your journey, you're tapping into, I'm a big leverage person,
Everyone's.
you're tapping into other people's audiences. So marketing wise is also powerful in that way as well. And then again, if you want to increase your own authority and be your own thought leader, of course the solo book is also something that you could do. But yeah, baby steps depending on where you are. I highly agree with
Mm.
that. Love that. So, Dina, how do we get our book to bestseller status on Amazon? What is it that we need to know around that?
Okay, so first of all, you really have to have the basics right. You have to have a high quality book. You have to have a great cover, because people buy a book on the cover. The cover looks great, and especially if your title, the thumbnail that you see on Amazon, your title must be easily readable there. People must can see the title, the subtitle, the cover. That must be appealing. Even if you spend loads of money on Amazon ads and your cover looks really bad, people are going to glance over it. So your cover is important. The next thing is that you need to upload the book into the correct categories and have the correct keywords. And as an independent publisher, I have that expertise on how to look for that for you to make sure that, you know, it happens, because there are hundreds of categories on Amazon. And if you don't know what you're doing, if you self-publish, then you can actually enroll your book in a category where there is low demand, or there is good demand, but the competition is just up, so that there are so many very best sellers there already that you're going to struggle to actually have your book being seen.
Ah,
Now, once you have,
it's like hashtags, right? It sounds like hashtags similar to other platforms where you're kind of with that category, you're tapping into that, with people that are under that category, and either you have competition in it or you're in the right category for, I guess, the topics that you cover, or the main topic of your book. Hmm.
yeah, because every category on Amazon, I've got best sellers in that category. That there's also, of course, the overall best sellers in Amazon. That's across the board. But every category has got bestsellers. So and that's where the expertise of someone like me comes in, is that I can go and look where you can actually be a number one that is aligned with your topic, with your book, with your title, with your keywords and everything. And because if you don't have that, if you don't do that, then your family and your friends will buy your book, maybe a few other people, and then it will just disappear.
Yeah, you'll be
Because
the
there
main
are,
driver of your book, but you can set it up where other people discovering you, and that's the real power of that.
and
Hmm.
that is the power, and that is also the power of Amazon ads. I always do Amazon ads for
Hmm.
my books, because, you know, the if you spend $5 a day, it's about $150 a month. But if you then that you pay per click, and that actually drive up sales, And even if you're not at the top yet, if you keep on doing that, it will climb the ladder slowly but surely, and it will stay there. Plus, your return on your investment of Amazon ads is much higher that you receive back in royalties than the $150 that you spent. So it's absolutely worth it to do
Investment.
that. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, Another strategy, of course, to that's to become best-selling author. But another strategy is, of course, to leverage the book by speaking about your story on podcasts. But then to have be able to send people from your website to go and buy the book. So, in other words, have a coaching program, a lead magnet, a whole funnel that in the end compels the person who lands your potential client to actually go and buy your book. So, that's a great way of continuously sending people to buy your book on Amazon and keep that status rolling up there.
Yeah, no, amazing strategies. I thank you so much for sharing each one of those. And yeah, I mean, and with everything, a good strategy, following a good strategy, getting help and support from a mentor like you know, will achieve that ultimate result. I mean, that's why there's people that do this. And you got to know the map to get there, right? I mean, success leaves clues. So if that's your goal, you know, you got to find mentors that definitely can help you with those steps as well to figure all this out. But yeah, I think in a nutshell, that was very, very clear. When it comes to book covers, Dina, what is it that we should be looking for? What's a good book cover?
Well, it depends on the book. It depends on the book. The book cover needs to express non-verbally what your book is about. It gives the tone, it gives the emotion of the book. And if you work with a great um, graphic designer, then you get that. Then you can get that. But please don't just go and try and do it yourself on Canva if you're not a professional designer, because let me promise you, people can spot that a mile away. People can
Yeah,
really see that a mile away.
investing in all these details seems like will definitely help with the overall success of the book as well. I highly agree. I mean, just like with videos, if people are not attracted around your title, they're not even going to open up to listen to what is it that you have to say. So these are all marketing strategies for everything that we do to grow our businesses. So really, really important. And Dina, my other question for you is something that I noticed with even helping people with branding is the difference between writing a book around your personal story and the difference between writing a book on a topic of expertise. What are your thoughts around that? Do people books that people share their personal story do better than the other one and vice versa?
Ilona, it's all about marketing. It's all about
Mm.
marketing. If you write, and that's why the quality of your work must be really good. Because if you write a great personal story, a great memoir about your life, about your journey, and you market that well, and it's at a specific right place, and that's what people are looking for. Because that's the whole thing about as well, is that in all these categories, there are some of the categories that have a high demand. So people are looking for that kind of stories. People are looking for those kind of books. Okay, and
Mhm.
if you're going to write something that people don't want, that they are not going to look for, you can have the best one. So again, that's where it's important to work with a publisher like myself that can tell you, listen, okay, we got to tweak your book so that it says this, because whatever you have at the moment is there's just no demand for it. There's just no demand for it. And
Yeah.
so sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
Yeah, I know that happens. I could see that. So yeah, I think that's what it is. You have to understand, you know, the intention, just like anything we
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
The intention around your book, and that happens because I have like dry air here and I'm getting a dry throat. But I think it's back to the intentional why you want to write your book.
Why you
What
want to
is your
write a book?
bigger vision? Right? What is your bigger vision with it? What are you trying to accomplish with it? And then work backwards, just like any goal that we have, right? Because it is a multi-step process.
Yeah.
It's not something that you just kind of wake up and you just kind of, okay, let me just throw a book together. That's just not how things work. So
But
I think
if you're
it's
going
important to
to
understand.
if you're going to write a memoir, then again, combine it with your expertise, because many people who write a memoir in the end have overcome something that they are now helping other people with. Otherwise you can write a fiction. But if you write a memoir that has got learning in it and it's got lessons in it, stuff that you have learned and that you are now practicing in your life and that you are helping your clients with. So it's a great combination to write your personal story and then, of course, weave in how you help people. How was that journey? So it can be two journeys in one, which can be very, very powerful.
And that's what I did in my first book. It's a memoir. I can never say that word, of my personal life experience, of what I've learned so far, but also sharing my knowledge and expertise around areas that I thought would be important around the work that I'm doing. And then the other one that I wrote, it was all about my framework, so that people can have, the framework that I have discovered, the fundamentals in building a legacy business. So it kind of comes natural. I think once you write a couple ones, you kind of get in the groove of it, and it's a really powerful thing. And to become an author, I don't know, it's like a status. I don't know what it is, but it's that thing that you just feel different about yourself. You just like,
Because it is really, especially if you write a solo book, but both. I mean, people who have contributed to my multi-author books, they say that it's a transformation. This one client said she probably saved thousands of dollars in therapy just by writing a story, because you have to go back and remember what happened, and as we write it, then all kinds of things come up and we have a whole different perspective on it. So that's amazing. And when we write about our framework, and then again, it's like a different little level. It's like a more up level for me if you only write about your expertise and have very little more of your story in there, because you obviously have the meat, if I can put it that way, in the book to actually demonstrate and color in your framework and really go into detail and add case studies of people that you've helped, client stories, to demonstrate it further. So it is a hell of a accomplishment to finish that project. It is. Every published author, gosh, you can really pat yourself on the back. It's an amazing thing to do, to complete and have it published. Yeah.
Absolutely. I highly agree. I mean, I think everyone should have a book or a couple of books. Now that I know the difference between not doing that and the things that it could do for your business. I mean, people come from all different angles and they see you as authority and talk about, how to get known and how to bring people towards you, right, in your journey, in your way. And it helps boost your business like immensely. It's done that for me.
And confidence in yourself. It gives you amazing confidence in yourself about, I actually know what I'm doing, kind of thing, So
yeah, clarity around how I did what I did. It also gives you a process. It gives you clarity on your process. For those of us that are experts, that's what it did for me. Just like therapy, it gave me clarity on the process of how did I help others achieve the results they achieved. What are the fundamentals? What are the patterns that I can keep repeating, making my process better to give people better results? So I think that's kind of the clarity it gave me, clarity around my process. And I'm like, aha, that is exactly how. And now that I have that framework, I can repurpose that in other ways, whether it's one-to-one work, program, mastermind, membership, doesn't matter the business model. I think what matters is the transformation you can provide.
Yeah,
That's what I'm always thinking about.
absolutely.
The
And
business
as you say,
model is just a tool. Mm-hmm.
as you say, that framework, and that's a case for whether you contribute to a multi-author book, because in there you also provide your bio, you also write about not just your story, but how you help your clients. And it's an advert for you. It's an advert absolutely about your business for you. And of course, it's so from there you can have a mastermind, you can have any exclusive kind of program that you can sell at the back of the book launch, to say, now, I am now an international best-selling author. I have demonstrated I've got my wings. Now, if you want to join me, I've got this mastermind or exclusive program that's based on my story, on my work in this book, and put a price tag on it.
Whew, powerful. Dina, we can go on for a while. We will definitely wrap up, but I just had another big thought around media. My gosh, media is powerful. You can leverage your book to do a lot of that because you're tapping into their huge audiences. Anyway, we gotta gotta wrap up, but it's just all things that it absolutely opens up the door to. So, Dina, my last question for you is around platforms and also AI. Where do you see us going with this whole technology coming around? How is that going to affect writing? I think it's going to make it easier for sure, but what are your thoughts on that? And which one is the best platform to self-publish? Is it Amazon? Is it Ingram Spark? Is it other platforms? Like, what are some of your thoughts around that?
I personally like Amazon because it's really established, it's really good in their categories, in the searches, and what it gives you as an author. And sorry, I really dislike AI. I think it is an onslaught on humanity. I think it robs people from their thinking. It disconnects us from source. And I think it removes original thought. Because if you could write your book using AI, where are you in there? It's a computer who wrote it. There's nothing nothing from you. The other day, a colleague of mine sent me in sort of an outline. She said she used AI to create the outline of a program for for people to reconnect to their purpose. And I say, well, why don't people just use AI to reconnect to their purpose? Why would they use you as the coach?
Panic. Wow. Yeah. It removes the personal part, which I don't know what that's going to do.
Absolutely. So sorry, it will probably, I know that the majority of humanity is going to dive at that because it's a quick fix and it's easy. But if you want to produce quality that comes from your heart, then you write it yourself.
You write it or you speak it yourself. It comes from your mouth, whatever channel. You write it, you speak it.
Because
it comes from heart and experience.
We all have an inner genius. We all have that connection we can tap into. And, with this kind of thing is everybody's just drifting more and more away from their own inner genius. And it's all, we are already so externally focused. So I would actually really plead to people, write your own stuff.
Write your own stuff and use technology to serve you, not to hinder your creativity and your authenticity. Because without that, we're just copycats of each other. I mean, there's no, just like branding, right? You don't want to copy someone else's brand. That is their brand. You're just building a second best. How are you ever going to stand out like that, right? You're just, there's already someone that exists, right?
You don't want
quote, you only are the better version of yourself. There's no two of you, right? The other person is taking something like that. I mean, I think it's the same with anything. If we remove authenticity, out of anything, then it's less human, less connection with your people, and that's never, yeah, it's never a good thing.
We don't want to regurgitate exactly what, everything that is already said, because that's what it is using. And I wonder, when is the first lawsuit going to happen, when someone, accuses someone else of plagiarizing their work, because it's now in AI. So write your own
Hmm.
stuff, your own
Lots
referencing.
of stuff to navigate with that. All right, Adina. Well, thank you so much. I'm so grateful you are here, and I would love to get the audience to now understand a little bit more around your work. What is it that you do specifically with clients around this area, and where is it that people can continue the conversation with you?
I publish multi-author books and solo books. And at the moment, I'm busy with two books. The one is called Success with Source, and the subtitle is Learn from Women Who Practice Vibrational Alignment in Their Business. And this is a spiritual business book. So I'm looking for spiritual business practitioners, people who are using their vibration, their intuition, and they are growing their business that way. And then the other book is called My Mess is My Message, and that's volume 2. And the subtitle is Inspiring Stories of Incredible Women Who Found Purpose and Prosperity Through Adversity. And this is sort of the hero's journey that so many coaches and healers and entrepreneurs go through. When we published number 1, we had the most amazing, amazing stories in there. So if you went through that, through something, and now you are actually helping people overcome that, then this book is for you. It's a great platform to launch your book, your story, your message into the world. And of course, solo books as well. I help you with the whole process of solo books, of writing your solo books, and whatever you need. It's a custom package of whatever you need, whether you have written it, whether you are still writing it, whatever you need. I create a package just for you. And yeah, all of this information is on my website, dinamarais.com. And or you can just find me on Facebook.
Yeah, I love that. Definitely go follow Dina. I love the titles of those books. You're definitely in the right place with the audience here, for people to share those stories. I think it's really powerful. And yeah, you have the entire process figured out, right? So you meet people where they are, wherever they are in their book writing journey. And
Yes.
the other important part is the marketing, I think, because a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
They write their books, but they don't really understand how to leverage their books to make a bigger impact and more income, because I always say income and impact are always connected, and we need to have both to
You need to have
continue to
both.
do
Yeah.
that, to continue to make the impact that we are looking for, so that we can feel like our work has meaning, and we can sustain it, and we can grow, and we can expand it to more people. So Dina, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. There's so many amazing nuggets you share with us today. I'm very grateful to have known you and have connected with you. And thanks again for everything you share on our show today.
Thank you for inviting me, Elona. It was a pleasure.
An absolute pleasure on my end. And I will see you with another show with another guest. Don't forget to subscribe, share this show, and of course, leave us a review to help us to bring more amazing experts just like Tina. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Love to offer you a free high level strategy call where I would love to hold the space and really connect the dots for you in your life and business alignment, from branding, marketing, sales, systems, and team, and really have you walk away with insight on what you might be missing and what are the gaps you are currently experiencing in your business between where you are and what you're trying to achieve, so that you can get more income and make more impact with the work that you are doing in the world. Let me know if you'd like to connect, and I'll be more than happy to have a call and a beautiful conversation together to see if we can support you further with your goals.